Fuck you, Craig.
Meh.
That out there. Yeah, I was busy earlier.
Alright. Do we have any volunteers as tribute for the recap tonight? For player inspiration?
I can,
Okay.
if no one else wants to.
I was gonna say, I have no problem doing it for you guys. You guys don't want or need inspiration going into tonight. It'll be fine.
I haven't
Rick is
taken
too
it in
exhausted to give it.
weeks.
Fair enough.
No, doing it. I will always volunteer unless someone else wants to.
I'm more than down to
'Cause
do it, but if we don't want to wait like 5 minutes, then I'm down for someone else to take it. I just need my computer to load.
Womp womp.
I just don't want anyone to feel like I do it before anyone else gets the opportunity if they want to.
Awen, you
That's-
give us like 100% inspiration every single time, so don't feel bad at all.
Okay.
You work de facto unless somebody else wants.
She's
Okay,
just wanting
that's what
to
I'm
make
just
sure
double
she's not
checking, you know
stepping
what?
on dicks.
Not trying to
Respectfully.
step on toes or anything.
Yeah.
No, my joke.
So we started off with the contest between Gaudry and Sortalric. It was pretty neck and neck the entire time. We had we cheated just a little bit, but no one noticed, so really didn't even happen. But it was pretty neck and neck the entire time. But also raging ? Barbarian ? Muted.
Can't let that slip.
But, you know, with a little bit of, I can't remember what the first, I think it was, Rick did a little magic song, a little sprinkle in there in the beginning, and then at the end with Jacobs with a little Fae presence. Gaudry ended up winning, yay! Too bad we didn't, we're not going on that Manticore hunt.
Hey, he did win us that long run.
He did. We'll see if we get there. They decided to postpone the whole. Yay! So at this point, Awen's like, okay, I know Cat scooted off a little bit. He probably just needs some air or something, but I'm just gonna go looky for him. She goes up, then she goes down. She doesn't see him, so she comes back and she tells the party. Gaudry's like, hey, let me take a peek, see, and we're like, cool. Meanwhile, brother, and by brother I mean Contagious, is scaling the motherfucking wall, and you know, he decides to make a dash for it to try to read some writing on the gazebo at the very top of the spire, and there's a symbol. Spoiler alert, it's a fucking air sigil. But he takes his whole 6 seconds to make a dash to it, read as much as he can, and get back off the ledge. He is seen though, and he is wearing some pretty flashy armor because we were given fancy clothes. And the entire tower is put on alert. Around the same time, back in the Great Hall, Awen is staring out the window, and the winds have picked up, and she's like, shit. And then a voice enters her head, and I don't even fucking remember, because I didn't write it down, and I haven't done notes for last week, but it's shit's bad. And also her necklace does one single red flash, which also means shit is bad. So, Awen starts panicking, and she starts corralling the entire group, like, we need to go, something's wrong, something's happening, I don't know what's happening. Jacobs is pissed. He's pissed because no one's communicating, rightfully so. But either way, Awen's corralling them. Around the same time, Gaudry meets up with Contagious, who had jumped off the ledge, come down from a lower floor, and started heading upwards. He met up with Gaudry. Gaudry's like, hey, we were looking for you. Contagious is like, nope, gotta go. And Gaudry's like, okay. And anyways, they all meet at some point, and everyone's like, what the fuck is going on? And everyone's like, what the fuck is going on? And Contagious is like, shit can go south. If they try to arrest me, let them. And Awen's like, hey, wait a minute, that's like the opposite of what you said earlier. And Jacobs is like, hey, what the fuck? We need to communicate. And yeah, but basically guards are coming. And so they end up being like, Earl comes down with, I can only assume is Reese and fucking Al on the other side, like, little arm in arm. Hate that. And he's like,
Not a Reese.
hey, we need to...
If I'm
It's not a
correct,
Reese,
I don't-
okay.
Not a Reese.
Oh, it was Jonathan?
Yeah, I think so.
Thank God.
Jonathan and fucking Al, like buddy boys over here, they're like, hey yo, we need to talk. Oh, Jacobs had very cleverly put an empty alcohol bottle in Contagious' hand. He was starting to play it off, but then it quickly was like, no, Contagious wanted to talk to Thurl, and this is like an opportunity to do that. So he drops it pretty quickly, but they end up going up to the spire, but not before Awen does a little spelly spell on Contagious. And there's a little line, a little thread, silver, gold, invisible-ish, you know, normal things. And Contagious goes up. And that was the end of last session. In between that, we had Contagious and Thurl had a wonderful talk
About friendship.
Session 32.5.
about friendship.
Purely
Mhm.
riveting. They were gonna braid each other's hair and do
Yeah.
each other's nails.
Talk about
Share facts about lady pants.
Is that what y'all do?
Is that what y'all do?
On occasion.
Okay, but and Andy, did you want to summarize the Thurl Contagious thing, since it's kind of your thing? Do we want to do
didn't
that at
go
all? Or
great.
Yeah.
There's a summary.
That's
Yeah,
my
pretty much.
summary. You don't believe
just
me,
was like,
he's kind of a douche.
They're bad. And Thurl was like, nuh-uh, nuh-uh.
Ends with jump off building redux.
Contagious is being like, bro, they're tricking you. No, I trust them. What makes you say
No.
that? Oh.
Nuh-uh.
You guys want to see a surprise?
Don't like that.
Only if it's a double Y.
Oh.
Kidding. Double word surprise.
I have a support kitty.
You have a beautiful support kitty.
He's just
Uh,
on my desk. I don't know why she's here, but she's just like, I'm cool.
It fits, it sits. I very much had a thought of like when you guys were doing the of like Contagious up there with Thurl, and like having like a father-son conversation where he's like, you know, I'm not mad, son, I'm just disappointed, and then Gideon is just like, you're not my real dad, and you never will be, and then like leaps.
I was gonna say just to preface that. No way am I trying to like infer that this is how like Awen's like thing was, like the spell. I just find it funny if it's the kind of thing where Awen can see kind of like how the thread is directionally on Contagious. We're all like, I wonder how the conversation is going. Awen looks at the thread and it's just fucking.
No, it's not. It was just there for flavor. It
No,
doesn't have
honey,
a visible thing.
You are shedding too much. You cannot stay here.
That would
Say
be
goodbye.
too funny. Oh, what the fuck?
No, you guys are gonna see what happens. We'll see what happens. That's.
Okay.
Let me pull up that spell though, because that's gonna become pretty
Um,
relevant pretty soon.
The only thing I'll add for the direct end of that little mini session was Thurl's last words were something along the lines of, "You can't help people who don't want to help themselves." And then we cut it off as I fell backwards and had not done anything else yet.
Yes. So as you were just hanging out midair, levitating, some might say, momentarily as we put a pin in your moment with Thurl, we're going to come back to the room with the rest of the group. Contagious has just been isolated from you guys and escorted upstairs. And you guys are not taken to your room, but encouraged to maybe call it a night while things are sorted out. Jacobs had made mention of wanting to look at putting the shards together. You guys had a little bit of a conversation in the fireside kiki about that. But as you guys head upstairs to go to your room, how would you guys like to start things off tonight?
I think unless anyone stops, or Awen would be pretty straightforward with like trying to explain everything that she knows, especially seeing Jacob's. Jacob? Who's Jacob?
Who
I
the
don't know
fuck
him.
is Jacob?
Jacob.
Man, everyone has different names.
He's got this basic ass bitch name.
Jacob was pretty upset about it. Like kind of pretty much as soon as everyone gets into the room, and like the door closes, Awen will start to explain. It all kind of transpired pretty fast. So at the very beginning, before the feast, Contagious had just pulled me over to the side and let me know that some figures from his past were here, and he mostly was just letting someone know. He said he planned on explaining everything after the feast, but being that he and I had planned to stick together for the majority of the feast, he was letting me know. He before we re-entered the hole, he did mention the name Gideon. He said people might bring up the name Gideon. I asked if we needed to avoid these people, and he said yes, and that was the plan. But as soon as we entered the hole, the figure that you'd seen on the other side of Thurl, his name is Al, he approached Contagious, had asked to speak to Contagious privately. Contagious showed him that whatever he had to say, he could say in front of me. And you might have seen we went to the solarium. From there, it was a heated exchange. He's a very arrogant man. Words were said. Contagious drew his sword, but nothing happened. Al made it clear that he wasn't there to fight. But Al was apparently one of Contagious's classmates. I'll let him explain the majority of that. But just as he had started the conversation, Al ended it. The feast began and we sat down. That's... Oh god.
Sorry,
Just as much... Just ignore these, it's fine. No, and that's as much... the only thing that I know more than you. I don't think... Contagious definitely didn't plan on, anything happening this far. I don't know what he was doing up on the roof. After the feast, after Gaudry won the fight, I noticed he was gone, so I looked for him, but I didn't think anything of it. I didn't know he was elsewhere, and then the winds picked up, and that's when I knew something was wrong. Still don't know what's actually wrong. Why are there so many dice fucking rolling? What the fuck?
D100.
I'm so-
Gaudry will raise a hand and ask, while that is understood, the name Gideon being thrown around in Contagious's presence, is this what is a surname or a separate sense of identity? Question mark?
I think it's closer to the latter. I think What I've gathered is that's what he used to be called. And these people being from his past refer to him as such.
Strange. It feels familiar to your tales, but maybe a little closer. And he kind of does this weird, like, his optic kind of dilates, not downwards but open, almost like he scans around, almost like trying to catch his bearings in a sense before his optics return back to normal, and he looks around. So, do we just wait for Contagious slash Gideon to return?
I guess, before Thurl took him up, I did, cast something on him. I don't know what Thurl's intentions are. Contagious at least seems to be insistent on having a private conversation with him, but I don't like that he went up there alone. But I cast this on him. I can at least tell what direction he is in and kind of sense where he's at. They went upwards, which, I mean, we saw them walk upwards, but if I had to guess, they were at the top of the pinnacle. Jacobs, do you have any words?
Not kind ones? Not now. I believe in the campfire, Rick gave Jacobs his stone.
I would have just held it out.
He'll grab it and take his own and just start seeing if any of the facets match each other.
You see that they don't necessarily seem to fit together like a puzzle would. But there is a very, very, very faint urge to keep them close together. If that makes sense.
Yes.
Like a magical
Almost magnetic, but I don't want to use that word because when I
energy
use the
type thing.
almost like magnetic, almost, and it almost feels for you, Jacobs, as you guys are, and for you, Rick, as you guys are holding them close together, almost like they should be close. I don't know how to describe it beyond that without giving more away.
See, I told you guys. This is in character. See, I told you guys. We were meant to be together this whole time. Does anybody else want to take out their shard? Maybe it gets stronger.
I'll show yours if you. I'll show mine if you show yours. I'm so sorry.
I'll be glad.
I'm sorry. Nope. I can't. You're good.
And see.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, Awen would very timidly, kind of look it over. She really only attuned to it in the event that it was useful. But yeah, she would hand it to Rick, or to Jagos, whoever it is. Reminds me.
I think Jen would step forward as well.
No, it does not hurt to try putting them together.
And that pull strengthens slightly as the four of you, four of you, I can't math, bring your shards together.
You said they don't, like, the pieces themselves don't fit together like a puzzle. Like, they don't sit exactly together.
Correct.
But in a 3D space, is there, like, spaces between where something else would go and they're just, like, set into it?
Possibly.
But the more I add, the more they don't want to be taken from each other.
Correct. And it's not a struggle to separate them or anything like that. It's just both from the stones there's a slight resistance and almost something within each of you that's kind of like don't wanna.
Godry, do you want to add yours to the mix?
I am not opposed. However, I would, while you have your 4 extended, I would like to analyze and see if they if they also resemble one of the symbols I was shown, and I would like to like moving around them, craning under where they're like holding the stones up and above. How I was able to see the side of my stone and it resembled the purple elemental sort of symbol. I want to see if any of their stones represent or look like they sort of match up to one of the symbols.
Very solid. As you make your rounds looking at these shards from every angle, they don't appear to have any resemblance of the symbols. But as the 5 of you stand there, that pull, that longing to be together, that need to be together intensifies ever so slightly.
Aelin will. I don't like that, and she'll hold out her hand for her stone. That could be dangerous. Not that I don't trust you guys. I'm more. These stones came from. Well, we don't know, but we all had that dream. If they are meant to fit together or something, I mean, you guys felt that, but maybe just like now is the best opportune time for experimenting. It does seem like they are attracted to each other, and that is something to maybe figure out. I don't know. Maybe I'm just paranoid.
Rick's just kind of sitting still on Godry's shoulders, just kind of thinking to himself, this has nothing to do with the scene or whatever. He's just thinking to himself like, and you can kind of hear him whisper under his lips like, man, the words to my song really make sense here.
Your song?
Never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down, never gonna. He just starts like singing it like.
Shimmy.
This is fate.
Perhaps there is something more to it that when Contagious returns, we can try again.
I agree. I think it's something we should do when we are at full strength.
I agree
Full
with the
commitment's what I'm thinking of.
I agree with the one that smells like wet feathers. It is possible that these stones wouldn't be complete without everyone else present. I was gonna say something else. I forgot.
I feel like Jen is masked, but you would see like his eyes kind of narrow slightly behind his mask, and he would probably say something about not smelling like wet feathers. I don't know, but you would definitely see the eyes kind of narrow. Like, excuse me.
You smell like fruit oil.
Hold on, how does the robot know what anything smells like?
You don't know.
Hey,
you
I got
guys.
receptors, son. Yeah. What? Listen, I don't got what y'all got, but I got.
Oh,
They still work.
I don't got what y'all got is such a good line.
Somebody quote it.
My olfactory sensors are going off.
Although, I do agree, or no, I disagree with it being a fate. For you all, maybe you all shared what sounds as to be a dream, a hallucination of mental efforts. I do not dream. I came and this shard was already there. Less fate, more calculated. And then I'll turn and face Jen and say, and apologies. New word has been added. I did not mean it from a sense of what you all would call insults. It carries a scent of, pine
Bird.
and wet mud. A bird. A bird.
Sorry.
Bird.
The birds were bourgeoisie.
Awen is just kind of like anxiously like shifting her weight between her feet now. She's like keeping one ear on the conversation. Like half her brain is split on what's happening here and now and keeping whatever that sense is that is sensing Contagious' location at all given times.
Say that last part one more time. Sorry.
Yeah,
my child came over.
You're good. Her brain is split between the conversation, everything happening in this room, and like keeping, you know, whatever that sense is that she can sense Contagious' location, also splitting her attention to that as well.
The way that I kind of imagine it is invisible threads to everybody else. You kind of see them faintly, especially in like the peripheral, on the outskirts of your vision. But I think like the sensation, kind of connecting you guys like from the chest or the core. You would feel the pull, you know, as he had been moving across the floor of the spire of the pinnacle. And in this moment,
I can
you-
basically feel them like pacing, right?
kind of, yeah. And you would feel in this moment, and I'm going to say this and then put a pin in you guys and go back up to Contagious. You feel it almost grow taut as he goes to the edge, and you can feel, like, as you kind of look around, that where you feel that pull towards, there's not building beyond that. And then you feel a drop. I don't know what to call you now, Contagious.
So contagious!
As you
Contagion.
respectfully tell Thurl, paraphrasing here, fuck you and everything that you stand for, and leap
Hey,
off
I did not
the-
say that.
I said respectfully and paraphrasing. You feel yourself momentarily begin to plummet as you quickly pull out this potion and suck it down. First and foremost, I need a Constitution saving throw from you, please. I'm gonna shoot you a message.
The silence that just grew is deafening.
I forgot.
Typing in group chats.
I forgot about that. All right, we're good. Everything's fine.
No problems. And as that happens, you feel your stomach begin to kind of bloat, uncomfortably, borderline painful, but not enough to distract you from this encounter, this moment. What? If you
I
were
had to
not
build one up.
Max,
That
if you
was
were
in
not
character.
Max, it was. If you were not Max,
No.
I'm glad that's the one we went then. If that was your in character response,
We would have used theater of the mind for the other one.
I
Alright,
would
so-
hope so. You know what? I wasn't expecting this one, so I just had to just clarify. But as you begin,
Weirdest roll I've ever made in D&D. Oh my god.
that might have been one of the really
Oh.
important ones, though. Can you imagine? But as you feel yourself begin to essentially float, what do you do?
Levitate, so it's 20 feet per round?
Mhm.
How far did I fall before the effect took place? Because I was like grabbing it as I went to go backwards, but obviously free fall is going to go pretty fast.
Yeah, I'd say, here's what we're gonna do. We'll roll for it, because you had it out and we're ready to... Oh, that's not what I wanted. Nope. We're gonna clear that. 'cause
Other
that's not what I
gale.
wanted. You went down about 80 feet.
Alright, so I will then start heading back upwards towards the top.
Beautiful.
Slowly but surely.
All I'm
Wait,
picturing
I
now is Willy Wonka.
100% in Contagious' mind, this was not going to take as long to get back to the top. So as he's starting to float, he's like, yeah, fuck. And he's like, taking a second, like, alright, take a deep breath. Everything's fine. And he's just slowly levitating back up to the top until he meets Thurl face to face.
Amazing. As you... God damn it.
It works so perfectly. Every time Contagious tries to look badass, this is how it works. He comes up 22 seconds later burping, like, ta-da!
Yes. And as you slowly begin to ascend once more, and Awen, as this is going on, you feel the plummet, that drop, and then just slowly creeping just back up.
You see Awen, she might have been like resting against a piece of furniture or something. She just kind of like,
It's like having a contraction.
and her. I said in the chat, it probably feels like she's just minding her own business and feels like how your stomach feels when you're just crusting over the top of a roller coaster. Like, she probably feels that as Contagious is also falling. And, she's not really able to get anything out before he stopped falling and he's floating up again, but, she's definitely stunned for a moment.
Contagious, as you continue your ascent, you see Thurl looking over the edge. Initially, a look of shock, and then surprise, mild mix of amusement. And then he crosses his arms over his chest and just watches.
This it takes way longer than it should.
As you finally, are you going all the way back up? What is your plan here before I start
Yeah,
talking?
I'm going all the way back up to meet. I want to end, like, essentially where my feet are resting, like 2 or 3 feet above where I was standing. Just get a little bit of height on him.
Okay. And you do, let me...
Also, during that time, if I look up and see that he's doing that, I'm gonna clock that, and then I'm just gonna look straight forward because watching him the whole time would be awkward as shit. Knowing that
No.
this is taking way longer than it should.
Fully expected Thorough just to sit down, dangling his leg, just like,
Right?
any day now.
Starts like,
As you reach your point of destination, he raises his eyes to meet yours. How disappointingly dramatic. I'd hoped for something more refined.
admittedly, that took a little longer than I thought. But see, I am clearly capable of helping myself. Now, we are very much not on the same page. I understand that. So I can either go back down, grab my party, and we leave. Or, if you are willing to at least give this some thought. I'm not asking you to summon Arisi, I'm not asking you to change your allegiances immediately. Just do not wholeheartedly dismiss the information I give you. I know from your perspective it may seem hard to believe, but it is my entire life's truth. If us going to help hunt this manticore tomorrow gives you a little more leeway to listen, then we will gladly continue this. Otherwise, with your permission, we will leave.
Roll persuasion for me, please. It is a high DC.
At least it didn't land on that
Fastest
slow
inspiration click ever. Alright. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ, man.
one. It was almost
Dude!
that. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Damn. Oh shit.
Everyone send good juju.
Oh, wow, 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 wow.
Okay,
wow.
that's better. Hold on.
Significantly better.
Okay. I do get to know if I have failed the check before using the talisman.
You have failed the check.
Yeah, I figured. So, I'm going to...
And there's no limitations on how many times you can use that, correct?
The limitation on the talisman is
Your
my
proficiency bonus?
proficiency bonus, and I've already used it
Perfect.
once, so I get one more.
Perfect, perfect.
Then, yeah, I think that's all I got.
That was like a little please.
Fucking dice, dude. Oh my god.
A storm is forming, Gideon. Choose your skies carefully, because not all who fly return. We
Not all
hunt
who wander.
tonight, or you leave tonight.
Pause. Gaudry, I'm so sorry. I just completely nullified your entire fight with this.
Or
Um,
you leave tonight. Saying nothing to your friends. They rest and prove themselves tomorrow. You, being the capable young man that you are, can take care of yourself, right?
I will... I'd say what? I'm about 5 to 7 feet away from the edge, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I put myself about 3 feet up, so yeah. I will, in eyesight of him, summon my storm clone
Mm-hmm.
about 5 feet to the left of him, and immediately switch places with it, so I'm now standing back on the top.
Okay.
Look him in the eye, and then I guess we hunt tonight.
Very well.
Not gonna confer with your group.
I didn't say the group hunts tonight.
I'll let my men know.
I'll talk to my group. If it's my decision, they rest, but some may choose to come. I hope you can respect that decision. But I will be there.
Give me one more persuasion.
But I used everything.
I know, I'm sorry.
And watch, this one beats that
That'd be a
roll.
nat 20.
Oh, no, it does not.
Okay. I would suggest you encourage them to join.
You hear them?
Mm-mm, what'd they say?
Cass, under their breath, goes, I suggest you go suck a dick.
Guys, I'm sorry. I'm so bad at rolling. Oh my god. Change of plan. Shield of blinding. Jump off again now.
YOLO!
I thought you were gonna use the cloning yourself to grab him on both sides and fucking leave off.
I was hoping you would. I thought you were going to.
Oh.
You said left of him, and I was like, fucking what?
Also, just point of order. Does my clone have levitate, or did it just like fall and then poof?
It just
Cool.
fell 30 feet and then was like, bye.
That's fair.
Wait. So Cloud Tagus still weighs as much as Cat Tagus?
Well,
It still fall. Yeah, I mean, I can physically hit people with it, so it has to have some sort of density to it.
yeah, and it does
That's fair.
have hit points and an AC and everything. But because it's mechanically a creature, or NPC if you want to call it that, it doesn't have flying capabilities. It has to be on a foundation. Otherwise, much
I
like
guess that makes sense.
everything else, it falls.
What goes up must come down.
Yes. He
I
will.
hate to not. How much do I have to Venmo you for more inspiration?
How much more info you
Ooh,
trying to
that's a
get?
good idea.
How much more info
That's a
you
good
trying to
idea.
get?
I want I want full
$8
inspiration.
re-up.
and
$8
success.
re-up for 3.
Out here putting fucking microtransactions into our team.
$22 an inspo. No, don't really pay me for inspo. Please don't bribe
It stays at 12 then.
me.
Here,
Please don't bribe me. Because it all feel
Please
like
don't bribe me.
because it all feel like I have to allow it. Because I'll just keep the money.
I was like, don't. It's essentially don't tempt me.
Yes, yes.
With that last comment, I'll just kind of give a nod and wait to see what he does.
He extends an arm towards the staircase. After you.
Start heading out.
So Awen, during
How's Awen doing?
yeah, you feel the movement. You feel a bloop, 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 and then walking. Or are you levitating since you have it for 10 minutes? Or I just kind of pictured you like head down and like floating, but like dragging
Well-
your toes across the floor.
So the problem is, levitate only allows you to control movement
Up and
up
down.
or down.
That's
You
right.
cannot use it to move on like the x-axis.
If you want to
only on,
sulk
like,
and
the
drag your
y-axis.
toes to get to the stairs, I'll allow it.
No, I'm keeping it active, but while I'm on the ground, you can just walk normally, so I'm just walking normally for now.
Okay. Let me move you to the other map. Derp-a-derp-a-derp. Contagious.
Yeah.
And I really did just cancel out everything Gaudry got us.
Like Pem does.
But the fight was cool, man.
Super awesome.
We got the respect of Sir Talric. He was like, nah, these guys are chill.
Yeah. Yeah. And you
It
guys
was
are
so-
like,
it was
too
so
bad
funny.
my friend's not.
Yeah.
It was so funny because in my head I'm like, oh, he's probably, you know what? He's probably gonna be like, you know what? Okay, let us leave, no harm, no foul. And in my head I'm like, hey, you know what? That's fine. So the fight wasn't for nothing. And then he goes, we hunt tonight, and I was like,
Yeah.
That
is the
I
only
trust you.
way, after this interaction, that is the only way Thurl will extend the opportunity to redeem yourselves in his eyes. And
Yep.
lay your heads to rest in his domain.
I'll take care of that.
Also, to be fair, Kat doesn't know that you bought us that time.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Oh,
also
yeah,
As
true.
far as
all that.
as far as I'm actually concerned, we were going tonight anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So nothing's
That is
changed.
hilarious.
But yeah, in
I just have
their
like this
room.
little thing. Sorry, go ahead. I'm just.
No, you're good. Did you want to finish?
I was just gonna say, I feel like I have this little thing in the side of my vision that is just Jacos' rage bar filling up with every action I take.
Well, as someone who can see Cass.
Once you walk back into the room.
Is it a yes?
Huh?
I said, is it a yes? Is Jacob's pissed?
What?
They said I would suggest Contagious lock his jaw when he comes into the room. But yeah, you all would see Awen kind of like whatever the fuck this is, and yeah, pretty much no, like she's like hunkers down for a second, and she starts like she's contagious, and then you see she's like she cuts herself off, and she's like sensing, she's like shit, he's moving again. And she's trying to figure out what's going on.
Everybody, I'll say that you guys can hear the heavy footsteps coming down the stairs. As Thurl is not walking lightly. Contagious, as you guys like go through the door to go downstairs, you see that there are 3 Feathergale Knights, the 2 that had been keeping watch and the one who had been watching the door initially that you and Awen encountered. And they will step out of the way as you and Thurl begin to make your way to the room.
Basically, you guys just watched Awen have a small heart attack.
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Oops.
You get to the door, Contagious, and Thurl stands next to it and looks at you. Well,
How long do we have?
I'll give you 5 minutes to discuss. And then we prepare to leave.
Understood. I'll go through and close the door behind me.
Okay. I guess I have to open the door to get you in.
Timer starts now.
And you guys hear the door
Awen is-
opens, no knock, no nothing.
Contagion!
Awen is immediately like, what the hell just happened?
After like a second or two, I'm just going to float up like a foot and just let my body hang. Just kind of like, oh my god. And look, guys, I am so sorry. This all happened so much quicker than I thought. And I'll just kind of scan the room. Are you guys ready for the hunt?
Well,
The
we have
fuck
some
do
great
you mean?
news, Contagion. Oh, go ahead, Jacobs.
The fuck do you mean?
The
Are we ready?
the Manticore hunt. We gotta go do the Manticore hunt. You guys still
No.
cool with that? I don't know if we really talked about it, but
No,
it's
we
now.
haven't talked about anything.
I know. I'm sorry.
If we had talked about this, you would know that Gudry won us a night.
What do you
We
mean?
get to sleep.
What do you mean?
Audrey fought. It was a show of strength, and he won. And Thurl said that we would leave in the morning. Audrey won.
Know that. I did not know that. Well, that's off the table
What
now.
do you mean? What?
That's not.
On your camera.
Nope. Mm-mm. It's happening now.
What?
Or we could just, like, leave. Or I guess I could just leave. That was an option. I didn't like that one, but it is an option. And frankly, I wouldn't blame you right now.
Are the shards
If-
still out and kind of like near each other? I don't think we've taken them all back, right?
Awen
Awen
had
took hers back.
retargeted. Yeah.
If I may, I will always, until I hit that point of integration, consider myself a third party in this party. I think it would just be best to leave. We owe nothing to them, and if they are giving an option for us to leave, they can leave on their adamant hunt, and we can rest somewhere. It would be in the wild and not in this bed, but better than some of us getting more worse for wear.
That's
Slowly
fair.
moving my computer so you can pick up cast for whatever the fuck is about to happen.
He's pocketed the stone at this point and stood up to face Contagious. Like you see this man, you know that winter, the season that you see now, is pale, is Snow White. The tips of his ears all the way through his forehead just like bright red. What happened?
I'll just kind of look at Awen. Have you told them anything yet, or do I have to start at zero?
I told them the basics. That I didn't go in about your exchange with Al.
Okay.
You kind of disappeared.
I know. I'm sorry, and I'm looking back at Jacobs now. Look, I was not ready to walk into my past here. I handled it very, very poorly, and I apologize. I really don't know what else to say other than that. If the options in front of us are hunt now, and I mean now, leave, or I leave, and you all have a chance to rest before the hunt. Whatever decision the group comes with, I will stay with, but if we can do the hunt tonight, all of us, I understand we're exhausted, but we also will not be alone. this may be a chance to learn more about the people we're hunting and the people who have been hunting me. If that is not worth it, I understand. Like I said, I'll do whatever you guys need to do.
I don't think it's a good idea to split up.
I, for one, will never let you down or desert you.
Are you still on Gaudry?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
But
Just
like,
for
I'm,
my
like,
own
kinda,
mental
like,
image.
laying on his head. Yeah, I'm kind of
Got
just
it.
like
Understood.
resting as much as I can. I, for one, will never.
Is it?
Just
Rick
kinda get-
can barely carry himself.
I didn't catch that. What did you say?
Rick can barely carry himself.
I'm hoping with the amount of people we'll have there, anybody who's not feeling up to it can stay. Rick, you especially are skilled at range. I'm hoping you can sit back, assist. I'm not asking you to sit it out, but maybe keep your distance in case something goes bad. We can try to protect the ones who are more vulnerable in this state. We also have the support of the Feathergale, unless... I would assume we will have the support of the Feathergale.
Do you trust him? Do you?
No.
I thought he threw you off that cliff.
No. Shit. I am so sorry. As he just now kind of connects the dots on why you would have thought that. Though that was me. Didn't work out as planned. I'm fine. Jacobs?
We're just going like this. Very even breaths are being taken.
I'm trying to phrase what I want to say and not a complete asshole way.
Live your truth as Jacobs.
It's not like Kat doesn't deserve it right now. Do what you gotta do.
Wait a minute. Go ahead, do your thing. I have something after.
Baseline, we need rest. Rick can barely speak a sentence. Godry is this close to shutting down. I haven't slept in 3 days. None of us have. Let's all just walk out. Why do we have to prove ourselves to them? Evidently, from whatever you spoke about upstairs, it doesn't matter. It does not matter. Sure, it's your past. It's coming back to haunt you. What do we gain from this as a whole? Ooh, we fight manticores and, like, maybe get some goodies. But we have no reason to be here, other than to find the cultists, which evidently the fucking cultists are here, so we found them.
It is also not irrational to assume, let's say we were to go on this hunt. There is no way to be sure both Thurl, the cultists, or the Gale Knights, or all of them don't just convince one another to especially wipe us out while we're weakened in the heat of battle, we would be essentially bait. And it's a fair observation. And sort of, he hesitates, and you hear trilling when his voice would open up to speak, and he says, "I know, because it is something I would do, from a tactical standpoint. Not with you guys where I stand now, but if I was in Thurl's position."
There's
I understand. Also, Godric, we have to talk about the way things you say sound threatening, but that's a conversation for a different day.
I mean, there's the chance to glean further information from Thurl and the Feather Guilds and what their connection to the air cultists. It's definitely there. Beyond a doubt, they are in league. Just from what Alf said, but that's if, and they're definitely on their guard now. I don't know if it's an option, but if we maybe we can talk more with Lady Sarva. She might be a real lead. And I don't think she has a say in where she goes. Jin, you seemed especially worried about her, correct?
Yes, I feel that there is more information that she may have, and I do not think she is here of her own volition. I forgot I was Jin tonight, sorry.
You're good. The letter from Arisi to Thurl, in mentioning her, also mentioned, "Give me a second to put it up." A sacred stone temple or monastery, that's where they found her, I believe. That's at least one connection to the Earth Cultists. But from the letter, it sounds like I had assumed that all of the elements were working together, but if Arisi is a part of the Air Cultists, why did they refer to the Earth Cultists as the enemy? And she starts thinking back to, they coincide but they do not coalesce. We coincide but we do not coalesce. And it's trying to... It's turning there.
As you are saying this, the door opens, and
Oh,
Thurl looks at all of you, hair kind of disheveled.
we haven't made a decision!
Are we ready?
We're still discussing.
Could you allow us just one more moment, please?
One. And he stands there.
Fine.
How set are you on this?
Well, I was gonna say this, and you know what? You may as well hear it as well, Thurl. I'll say my one last piece, and I will go with whatever you as the group decides. If Thurl had intended on hurting us, he could have done so by now. He had plenty of opportunity. We were surrounded by his guards. He had me separated. Going to this length just to get us... I don't believe that to be the case, so I'll kind of shoot him a look. Secondly, the Feathergale could be useful as allies. Yes, I believe they currently have people in their midst that can't be trusted and have allies that I don't believe are on the right side. But if we can do better to make that not the case from within than from without. Lastly, and I know this is only my problem, they have connections to Arisi. Arisi is the one who's hunting me and the one who burned my family. If I have a direct path to her, I would rather take it. But, as I said, that's my problem. Whatever the group decides, I go with.
Your companion has made his choice. And I'm not heartless. We absolutely could have killed you or imprisoned you. But I won't let one wind-blown decision rob you of our hospitality. There's still a hunt. Impress me and perhaps we'll find common air.
What do we think serves our purposes more?
I'll look at Jacos. There's no point hunting down the cults if we do nothing when we get there. I know I have no right to ask this of you after everything I've done tonight, but I believe this is the best path for us.
Oh, shove it up your ass and he'll walk out the door. Let's fight. And he will wholly body check whoever is standing at the door.
Thurl.
Give me a strength
Great.
check.
While this is happening, Awen looks back to Gaudry, Jin, and Rick to see, you know, like, hey, there's still 3 other people, you know. What are y'all thinking? Are y'all down?
Yeah, I'm down.
Wait, say that again?
Gaudry will.
Who?
You?
What?
Sorry.
Me?
Yes.
Awen had kind of looked to the rest of the party members, Rick, Gaudry, and Jin, kind of, without really saying it, asking like, okay, what do you guys think? Jacos obviously just made his vote, but I imagine, and JJ had said Rick says let's go, and I imagine they kind of just like lock eyes and maybe nod, and she looks over to the rest of them.
Jacos, as you go to shoulder check Thurl, he does not budge. And you actually hear a bit of a snicker.
Did you hear that?
Mm-mm.
You want to say it again?
Up yours as well, Captain.
I'll shoot a look at Thurl as this is said, and just kind of give a sigh and be like, please add any perceived hostility from my group onto my pile of dues. They are robbed of their sleep by me.
I have come to learn that each of us is responsible for our own actions and choices. You have enough sins of your own to carry.
Are we going then?
Gaudry will place a hand on Contagious' shoulder and he'll say, I know, especially from first encounter, I have and I feel I still may be unnerving to you. I know there are some things I do and say that can give a sense of unease, but maybe today, after shedding oil and blood, this can be something not as bothersome. Uh, and he'll start to walk forward, following Jacobs, and he'll look down at Thrall and say, "I do not carry threats. I carry facts. If a blade is pointed at my allies' backs, remember, you only have one Sir Talric. They will not fare as well." And he'll move around him and crouch under the doorway.
That's not a threat, that's a promise.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my mama, oh my hood.
Look like I look good.
Godry, right now. Incoming.
Oh?
If it should be posting.
Oh crap, I clicked in and my thing just...
Why is it not? No. Let me try it from my phone. Trying to be all cool and have it up on my browser and shit.
Shit. So what the fuck is... Who is unidentified 49 and unidentified 9? What is this?
Yeah, no, they haven't identified themselves yet.
Oh, those are the
Okay,
vultures
cool.
that I found up top. Those are my vulture friends.
Oh.
They
Go
chill.
through.
They're chill.
Oh my god, why is it not? You know what? It was just a gif of Dwight from The Office
saw
saying
it.
facts.
I clicked the link, it was seen.
Okay, let's go ahead and take our 10-minute break here, guys, as you all prepare to head out.
Really quickly,
Yes.
was Rick still on Gaudry?
Yeah, and he was
Oh,
When he
smiling
left.
because he said Godry was like, "I don't carry threats, I carry facts," and Rick was like, "Ooh, I'm a fact."
Dude, in my head, is when Gaudry like ducked out, it put you
Yeah,
at
facts.
Thurl's eye level, and you could just play like a little like, just like one little chord as like an emphasis as he's going out.
Lil Rick with his smug little...
Hoorah!
I think Awen would be, the last one outside of like Contagious and Thorough. And she just kind of looks at him, and it's a look of both worry and also, I guess frustration is the word. You can tell you really scared her, and she's trying to process that and also everything that's happening. And it's not disappointment. Not really. But there's just a very loaded look that she gives that they kind of exchange before she follows the rest of the party.
Contagious at this point will drop down from his levitate. Because he's just been floating there this whole time. And, as you go to go out, he'll just put his hand on your shoulder. I'm so sorry, and thank you. And he'll attempt to start a hug, if anyone will take it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
She lets it
guess.
happen. She returns it a little bit. You're gonna have a harder time making it up to everyone else.
Pull away and be like, I know. But I'll work at it till it's done. And he'll head out with them.
And then, real quick before we take our break, I feel bad. This is a real fucked up question. But you guys are coming up to the 48-hour mark of no sleep. which is going to be a con save for exhaustion at a higher DC than the first one. Unfortunately, there will also be a con save after combat. So, do you guys want to do the first one now? Do we want to do them as order, in order?
When you say combat, you mean the hunt, right?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay, just double checking.
Yeah. I mean, unless you guys are
Yeah, so
feeling
you're saying-
froggy.
We're gonna make a con save now, and then when combat is done, we have a second one. to make.
Correct.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I just heard combat and immediately was like, huh? What?
We walk out, all the guards are just ready for us. Jacobs has already been fighting for 15 seconds.
You guys go down there, and Jaco's just standing on a pile of bodies.
Yeah.
Again,
I mean, we should probably just roll them as we get to them. That's my opinion.
Okay. Then we will
Obviously,
go
if anyone
ahead.
else wants to do it different.
Okay. Then we'll go ahead and we'll do our first con save for the 48-hour mark as that's coming up. Again, the DC is higher.
Fireball.
Third party's dubstep.
Hold on.
Let's go.
I'm inspoing.
Yeah.
I wasted all mine.
Oh,
Is there like a ruling
Okay.
in the handbook for this?
What do you mean?
Wait,
For like 48 hours and all that?
And
there
for the DC
something-
and
is-
everything, yeah.
So what is the
Is-
DC then? I'm assuming it goes up by 2 or something, or
No, it goes up by 5.
yeah, it goes up by 5.
For every 24 hours,
so
it goes,
goes
up
from
by
10
5.
to 5. So it's at 20.
No, for you it's 15. I gave you and Godry a huge fucking bone with the DC for your second throws. After your performance and
Are
his
you good, bro?
performance. I made the DC 12 for that one for you guys instead of the 15. It is 15 now.
Oh,
Oh man! Fuck luck, dude.
Now-
so,
now watch-
I
now
have a
watch-
question.
Now watch her reverse this with the deal of the devil roll. Watch this.
No.
I have a
No?
question.
Okay.
Is this something I would be able to guide myself as I feel myself slugging, and I'm just like, man, I'm so tired. I just need
No,
to.
not a skill check, it's a
Yeah.
save.
No.
Oh.
Yep.
No guidance.
Because I was thinking about using my thing for my save, but it's not a skill check, and I can only do that for skill checks.
if I do a handstand, can I get a reroll? Cause
If I do a handstand, man, we are fucking
No.
desperate.
No, unfortunately. I'm so sorry. Okay, so Godry, your highest was 12?
12. Fuck.
So wait, wouldn't have. Okay.
Resistance would be so good right now.
What was your question, Rick?
I was just gonna say, didn't Godry join us like a day after?
Well, Godry joined us at night after we'd started this, but Godry had already been walking that whole day to get to us. So
Ah.
Godry's in the same position.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
was
so
trying.
above the table, I can see you're kind of frustrated and like looking to like for it all to make sense. Not like questioning me or anything, but for it all to make sense. So in the DMG with exhaustion for every 24 hours, the first con save is 10. It's just a base of 10 to avoid that level of exhaustion with the first 24 hours. Every 24 hours after that, it goes up by 5. So the DC for this save now on 48 hours is 15 instead of the 10. When there are outside circumstances, strenuous activity, whether it be mental, physical, arcanic, anything like that, anything that is taxing, strenuous, arduous, draining, anything like that, when you've already passed that 24 hours of no sleep and are already on the verge of risking exhaustion, it's the DM's discretion. And so taking that into mind, I'm adjusting DCs in those in a way that makes sense but is fair. So instead of raising it to 15 after you performed at dinner, I raised it to 12 because that's still easily obtainable. It's not fucking you and cucking you. And I knew there was a big chance that you guys would end up going on the Manticore hunts before you guys did the thing with Talric, and all that. I would have handled it the same probably had I known that things were going to work out this way and the long rest was not, or yeah, I would have kept it the same, you know. So rather than making yours 17 and keeping that 2 on top of the 15 that it should be, I'm just making it 15 so that way it's fair and balanced because you've been kicking it big easy and chilling on Godry since then. It doesn't count as a short rest, unfortunately for you, but I'm not, like I said, and I will stand by this, I'm not here to cuck you guys. It is just a series of unfortunate events that has, you know, gotten to this point and then worked itself out and then shit the bed all over again. So it's I promise it's not me trying to cuck you guys. Does that make sense and make it easier to understand? Because I know you're a lot like me, and if it makes sense, it's easier to understand and retain and everything moving forward.
Oh, is this towards me?
Well, in general, but I know like you and I are a lot alike too.
Oh, okay.
So it's not like a bad
Okay.
thing or anything.
Yeah, I rolled a 20. I'm good.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. You
I just wanted to know. I just wanted to know the how that worked. So yeah, every 24 hours is +5.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you
and
know what?
then the
Counterpoint.
between stuff. Fuck you, right? Fuck you, Denali. But yeah.
Counter argument. Suck a dick.
So and then Jacos, your highest was a 9.
14.
And then
14. 14.
and that's what disadvantage on ability checks.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Level 1 is disadvantage on ability checks.
That's so
Yeah.
funny. So if I rage, it's just straight strength checks.
Mm-hmm.
So just to confirm, I saved after my performance, right? So I'm only at level
No.
1.
Yeah, you have 1 point.
Yeah, yeah.
And
So
you, and you
Okay.
save this once you're still at
Okay.
1 point.
yes. So
Okay,
as
good.
of right now, Rick, Godry, and Jacos have 1 level of exhaustion.
That's doable.
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
doable.
Totally doable.
I know, once again, and I've said this several times coming from me, that you know, take that with a grain of salt and everything, but that's doable.
Well, I
I'm gonna
mean,
do some cool shit, man.
respect the
Someday we are
integrity
all
of-
gonna look back on this and laugh, guys.
All right, I'm gonna put on my BRB screen.
I mean, it's just 1 mana core, right?
Yeah, what's the? Ah.
That would be sick. Honestly, that would be like the coolest moment ever.
Can you imagine
And
leveling up
I'd
and not
actually, like,
regaining
get some
any
more money.
of your spell slots or anything?
I have all
I
my
think
spell
that would-
slots. It's fine with me.
Not happening.
That would be so
unfortunately.
evil but genius. Like everyone goes down, it looks like a TPK. Everyone gets up, level up. You get features but no spell slots, but you get back to full health. Fight for your life.
Half health.
How many sessions did we get into before Contagious used magic in front of people? got pretty
In front
far,
of
didn't we?
people? A
Well,
long
you
time.
used it in front of the
Couple of us
first
were
time.
blinded.
The
The
first
first
time
time
you
was
used
when
it,
they were
yeah.
blinded.
Yeah.
I used it in front of 2 people who are no longer with us.
Mm-hmm.
They were the only ones who saw it.
Bodhi. Rip Bodhi.
Bodhi.
I don't even fully remember who Bodhi is. I just know you guys bring him up in tragedy. You bring Bodhi up in tragedy, it's like, R.I.P. Bodhi.
Oh, baby, Bodhi. Bodhi, baby.
Okay.
Guys, should I name my new puppy Bodhi?
Oh, yes.
It's the
Just
same
don't let them
exact
go
reaction
underground.
I had.
Just never let that dog go underground, and you're fine.
Yeah.
Stop,
Yeah.
stop, 'cause I don't
Just
know anything.
beware the
I would-
pain.
What if it's like a curse or something?
Hey, Jen, what's
Hello,
up?
hello.
The fate you're
Yo,
bestowing on that puppy.
You made it, perfect, perfectly in time.
Yeah.
Who wants to give him the TLDR?
So hey,
I
you
already
remember?
did.
Oh, you
Okay,
did? Okay.
yeah. So we're gonna go
You're
fight
not
the Manticore
exhausted.
now.
Contagious had to pop his chest out on Papa Thurl and going on the Manticore fight real soon and swift. Where we're leaving right now. Pack your bags, kids. We're going to Nam.
Yeah.
Does anybody else hear helicopters?
The trees are talking. What Agent Orange?
Oh shit.
Real quick. Gotta get you guys.
Oh, basically shit's fucked. Or it's less fucked now, but
Here, fuck.
It wasn't
We are-
as fucked as we prepared for.
yeah, it's true. We were prepared to like escape. But I'm ready to get back to it.
I need all of
Let's
you
do
guys
it.
to roll a D100 for me, please.
Ah, fuck. I gotta get back to the
Everybody?
computer. Wait.
So, in the very beginning of the session, I rolled a 98.
no.
That's what I'm using now.
I
Ooh,
can
wish list
do-
items? Wish list items?
Okay, so if you add mine and Jacob's together, we get 100.
Ooh, okay.
I have to get back to my computer. Uno momento, por favor, senora.
No problem.
Do I also have to roll D100?
Yes, please.
I got my use! My use!
In the 38 range, I'm feeling okay.
Yo, did Rick really have to one-up me? Literally one-up me?
Yes.
Like,
96 is crazy. Congrats on the A.
congrats on that.
What if
Not
it's like
perfect,
the
try again.
highest you are, the worst it is? What if it's something like that?
That's why I hate D100 rolls, because you never know what the fuck is going on. For all we know, it's fucking odds and evens, and our numbers don't mean. Whose line is it anyway?
Jacobs, please don't hate me.
Love that show. Love that show.
No.
This is
Counterspell.
evil.
Counterspell.
Jacobs,
Uh-oh.
you're gonna
What?
be stuck on a giant vulture. The others are on hippogriffs.
I want to be on the vulture.
This poor man.
No.
You guys
I trade?
you guys could absolutely trade if you'd like to.
That's up to Jacobs. I don't know how Jacobs feels about this, but I would definitely trade if Jacobs doesn't want to be on a vulture.
At the moment, it's extremely childish. If he sees you going for it, he will stand his ground.
Jacobs,
Alright,
point of
yeah.
inspiration.
Is,
God.
is,
Jacobs
is
was like,
there-
man, I got the fucking vulture.
Is-
Steve Contagious, like, eyeing it. That was my vulture. This is my vulture. Get
vulture.
up.
Fuck you. You can't play
What are you,
with
what are you, what are you looking at?
is there a
I
Feathergale
deserve
guard on
that.
each one of these things with us?
Excuse
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, just as a point, during that entire conversation we had, because it only took place in about 5 minutes, and I assume it doesn't take 5 minutes to get downstairs, Contagious was, like, weirdly burping the whole time.
Oh, what the fuck?
Do you want to tell him about the roll?
Yeah, so the potion I took to give me levitate also, like, fills my stomach with, like, bubbles. And the roll I took was to decide which path the bubbles decided to leave from, to be delicate.
Oh my god, where is it? For those that play Castle Crashers, I'm looking for the one deer gift.
I have a friend who's obsessed with that game, but I've never played it.
It's so good.
Okay.
Oh my god, it's right there.
I need one of you. Jen, can you roll me one D100, please?
Yep.
how many guards are coming with us?
I'm
Oh,
going
it's-
to tell you that in just a moment. Beautiful 44. Okay. Okay.
Also, Jin, Godry complimented you saying you smell like pine and cool mud.
I do?
The first one was
Damn.
wet bird.
Oh, damn.
But he left.
Two, three.
I would also like to know which whenever we get to it, which of the guards that Rick is with on his
Yes.
hippogriff.
Or if Talric's with us.
Talric will be with you. It will be
Fuck.
Talric and hold on, getting there. 1, 2, 3, 4.
I'm just imagining a tall version of Rick.
Tall Rick. Oh my god, I hate you.
Oh,
Oh, Rick
that's
and small
funny.
Rick. Oh, that's so cute. Can I go on his hippogriff, please?
It's small Rick and tall Rick.
Small Rick and tall Rick.
Amazing.
Please tell me they're on the same one.
You know what? Fuck
I got
it.
I got some plans for. Really? Nice.
I'm concerned.
That is
Alright, I've
nice.
got one more hippogriff, and then I'm just covering everybody else. Contagious, roll a d100 for me, please.
Fuck.
You want it
Dun,
low.
dun, 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 dun.
What? Oh god. Don't say that before I roll. Okay, thank god. It's still.
Al will not be with you.
You are
We
fucking
need to keep
evil.
an eye on him.
You are evil for putting that out there.
Why am I evil?
Just the
Who is he with,
opportunity.
perchance? Who is he with, perchance? For
So,
curiosity.
essentially, you're not gonna know.
Don't tell me he's with
because-
Awen.
No, I mean he's like so. Basically, what's gonna happen? I'm just getting this map on here, and then we'll position things appropriately as need be. But essentially, what's going to happen? Actually, I'll just fucking tell you right now. As you guys make your way downstairs, it was a good look for you, Godry.
So,
You are all taken down to the stable area. From up above you, you hear the rich, resonant call of a horn. A nice little as it rings out into, thank you, the windy night sky. As that horn calls out, the vultures and the hippogriffs in the stables begin to come to life. Not that they were dead or sleeping before this, but there's a sense of excitement as they begin to kind of flap their wings and ruffle their feathers, stirring into the moment. You are, of course, accompanied by some of the Feathergale Knights and the Initiates and Thurl. The 6 of you are going to be accompanied. All of you guys are going to be heading out together, and you watch as you guys get onto your mounts with a member of the Feathergale Society. That the other winged creatures are doubled up as 2 of the Feathergale Knights or Initiates begin to mount as well. They begin to, obviously they've already been saddled up, they've been prepared, and one of the riders from each mount will open the door behind you guys. So in the lower level, there's the 12 stables, there's the door to get into the stable, and on the back end of the stable wall is another set of doors. Thick, stout wood doors that are reinforced with iron bars, and there's an iron latch that they undo and push the doors out and open. Thurl standing at the stairs as all of this is taking place. And they will help you, except for you, Contagious. They just let you figure out how to get on your hippogriff. Sorry.
That's fine. I'll just use Gus to kind of pop up onto it.
Beautiful. Thurl, standing at the base of the stairs, calls out in a loud, proud voice. A beast dares to sully the skies above our domain. A manticore, savage and proud. But not for long. Tonight we ride with the wind as our ally and justice as our spear. For honor. And all the knights say, for honor. For glory. For glory. For the skies! And there's just an uproar of cheering as he makes his way to his mount. There's a cacophony of excited murmurs and whispers, and, you know, one good old boy's all, we're gonna go get us a manticore tonight! And the knight that you guys are with on your respective mounts will tell you to hold on. And with one more sound of the horn, the animals rush towards the open doors, being given a command, which those of you that speak Primordial know is an Orin. And immediately you take flight. The winds howl around you. You feel the strength of these beasts with their wings as they snap open like sails. Yes. Awen.
Can I have made, before we took off and everything, a perception check to try and locate Al and keep an eye on where he's at and who's he's with?
Absolutely. Go ahead and give me your perception check. I haven't shared the map yet. 20.
Nice.
Beautiful. Oh, you know what? Maybe I should just share it so you guys can have a layout. That's not what I wanted. Let me find the stable map for you guys. I forgot stable. That was the word I was looking for. Okay. So.
Hell yeah, brother.
Sharing this. You guys should be able to see because there's a party token on it. If not, let me know. And we'll just open. Can you guys see the map?
So, right now it's just a black grid.
Me too.
I don't know if it's a matter of
Yeah.
loading or...
Damn. Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna screenshot and post it for you
I'll
guys.
be right back.
Okay.
Fantasy Grounds has to figure this out.
I think it's because it's the party token and not your actual tokens that are on there. So we're gonna post this in Notes and Collab.
Gotcha.
Okay. So.
Oh,
Go ahead.
no.
Okay. So starting on the, I guess it would be the 1 o'clock position. Actually, we'll stop the very top center. The first stall there, just to the right of the top. You guys going clockwise will be in those first 6 stalls. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Al would be 1, 2, 3 more clockwise. And with your perception, Awen, you would see that he is looking pretty smug right now, as he watches Contagious gust his way up onto his hippogriff. And let me go ahead and I'll share this map so there's time for it to load. It might take a minute. Are there any other questions or anything you guys would be doing prior to taking flights and beginning? Okay.
I'm good.
Okay. So as you guys take flight, obviously you guys are all coming out in different directions and swiftly ascending up higher above the pinnacle of the spire. And they come into a flying V formation, essentially, with Thurl at the front. He holds up a closed fist to his right and points this way. And he holds up his left hand with 3 and points this way. And then an open hand pointing forward. And then with his right hand, open hand, points back. At that moment, obviously giving commands, the 6 of you on your mounts, let me share this map actually for you. Share that, and we will put a party token.
The Blood Prince walking to the cave.
What? This party token here. Okay, you guys can all see this Sighing Valley map.
Ye-
Okay. You guys, with your respective mounts and riders, begin flying to the south. Matt said hijack the hippogriffs and fly them back to Red Lurch. Safety! Go ahead and...
Red Larch is not safe anymore.
Anymore? It's bold to assume it ever was. I'm just kidding. Perception checks from everybody, please.
I also want to know which guard I'm with.
You're with Talric, because that's
Well,
funny.
Talric.
So
25.
Rick, Godry, and Jacos, yours are at disadvantage.
Ah, shit. Yeah. Fuck.
Yeah, I already rolled 9 with
I
this.
appreciate that. Okay, Jacob's
Yeah.
coming through. Jacob's perceptive just on pure spite. I respect it. I gave you info earlier for the petty retention of the vulture, correct?
No.
Give yourself an inspiration for the petty retention of the giant vulture, please. It was so, like, perfect and in character and just fucking hilarious, to be completely honest. Okay, so...
Real
what?
quick,
Mhm.
are there any like what we're sitting on these hippogriffs? Are there any? Is it like a saddle with like compartments or anything?
There are not saddlebags on them.
So it's just bareback.
It's essentially, so it's not really a saddle, it's more of a saddle mat. I don't know if that's the right term for it. It is, there's a term for it. It's essentially a saddle that's not formed into a So let me see if I can fucking find it, because I just sound stupid, and the more I talk, the dumber I sound.
Also, again, are we sitting behind them or in front of them?
Give me just a moment. So it's a saddle, but it's more cloth, almost like memory foam, kind of. So it's not your traditional saddle like you think of, like when it comes to horseback riding. So that way, if there are extra riders, it's more comfortable. Rick, you would be in the front. Anybody who is smaller, like Awen. Jacos, how tall are you?
Like 6'7".
Yeah, you'd be in the back. Contagious, you're what, 5'9"?
6'2".
6'2", okay. So we'll say that basically everybody except for Awen and Rick would be behind their rider.
Wait. Awen,
Could I make
in
a-
the back?
In front.
In front?
Can I make a roll to see if I could like sit in the back, or would they have just put me in front?
They would have put you in front. If you wanted to ask about riding behind, you could.
I'd like to do that.
No. I'm just kidding. He kind of shrugs. He
No.
kind of shrugs. Okay. So, Awen, would you want to be in the back too?
Awen would go wherever they tell her. She assumes that they know the best position for her to not fly off.
Okay.
And if that's in the front, you know.
Okay. And they're very respectful. It's not like cringy or weird or anything like that. I mean, it might be uncomfortable to be in close proximity with someone you don't know or trust. Say that again? Oh, my shit, like, fucked up for a minute. Is it just my end?
What?
Things
What
messed...
Your end.
Discord messed up. I don't know if it was on my end or...
Nothing on this phone.
Okay, it's...
Yeah, we're
it
good.
must be on mine. Can you say that a third time, please? I'm sorry.
Me?
Yes.
Just like, Awen's definitely awkward, but it's for her own awkwardness, not anything else.
Okay.
She's definitely like very straight back and just like. It's like I assume like they didn't give her the reins. Like the dude behind her is obviously controlling the mount, correct?
Correct.
Oh my gosh. Can't believe-
Everybody...
We can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yep,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know what is going... I don't think it's storming. And just for extra saltiness, the giant vulture rider is going to be next to Contagious's rider. And this is totally
I deserve that.
them just being dicks, not just me. I mean, it's kind of me. I'm not going to deny
Oh.
that, but it's not just me. Yes, Rick.
One last question. Talric, does he have like a backpack on or like any sort of like anything?
Deal shit right now.
He has his gear, his weaponry and armament.
Okay, so no like
No bags.
okay, so just no bags, no nothing.
Correct. They are
What is he
black
wearing?
and light. Give me just a moment and I will tell you. Sorry, I'm trying to get...
Rick's about to cop a feel.
I might pull a contagious here.
You can certainly try. It's okay, guys. It can't get any worse. It immediately gets worse. And in fact, I'll let you guys all know. Okay, so looking at the map, Jacos, you are with an initiate. So let me bring all this up real quick. The initiates are wearing leather armor. So Jacos, Jen, and Godry. The three of you are with initiates all in leather. Awen and Contagious, you are with a Feather Gale Knight. They are wearing scale. I almost just said armor, and that was a big duh. And then Sir Talric is wearing splint armor and has a shield. As far as
Splint armor?
splint armor. For weapons.
Can you reach down and hand me my charger?
Talric has a flail and a spear. The Feather Gale Knights, as far as weapons, have a spear and longswords. And the initiates have where'd it go? Daggers.
What are they gonna do with those?
And what's the flight order?
What's the dog do?
So Talric is in front. He is leading your group of 6. Next to him is one of the Feather Gale Knights with Awen. Behind him is an initiate with Jacos, an initiate with Godry, and then at the back is a Feather Gale Knight with Contagious and an initiate with Jacos. So what you guys see on the map is the order.
And how far apart are we flying?
I'll get there in just a moment. Did that pop back up for you, Godry?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Everybody has the map?
Yes.
Okay. So go back to our perception checks. So as you guys begin to split off, Al is not with you in this group. He is in another group, Contagious. So that's what I was rolling for, was to see if he would be in this group with you guys or if he was splitting with a different group.
Gotcha.
So as you guys begin to fly south, initially, the two up front, so the knight with Awen and then Talric with Shortrick, maintain the higher elevation while the 4 others drop lower to get a better view of the ground. Probably staying 60 to 100 feet up, continuing to fly south. You guys would each be told to keep your eyes open and your ears, though it is very hard to hear anything short of the rider that you're with as they are yelling this to you. Between the winds and the flapping wings, right? You guys could all be friends. You could teach them. You guys could have a kiki and like be like the best of friends. You could move in, become knights. Like, it's a beautiful story. The power of friendship. That's the spirit.
With us separated from Al, is my shard going off?
Yes.
Okay.
You guys fly
Repent!
at... Did you say repent?
No, sorry. I was saying we're bait.
Oh, no. No, if they wanted to kill you, they would have just killed you already. Or at least tried to. You guys fly for about 20, 25 minutes. Where did my Sighing Valley map go? Oh my god, I have so much shit open on my screen, you guys. There we go. Oh my gosh, why is my map? Okay, I will move
Roll
the
initiative.
token when my computer decides to stop being a fucking turd. But you guys see that as you're flying through the Sighing Valley, following the river, you see the bends in the river. Most of the land out here is barren and dry, closer to the river's edge, to the shoreline. There's a little bit of foliage, some grass, a little bit of bushes and trees. Keeping your eyes and ears open, you don't see anything out of the ordinary. You pass a plateau and continue to follow the curvature of the river, kind of merging and then dispersing periodically as you guys fly. The knights following hand signals from Talric. And then ultimately, you guys are going to end up over here. Bo's really worried for you guys, sorry. As you guys continue to follow the river down the rocky edge of the Sighing Valley, you see that there is a clearing and appears to be, give me just a moment.
Oh, buddy.
He wants to play with Charlie, but Charlie is old and ready for bed, so Charlie's laying down by my feet, and Bo is like, but love me. But
Bo's giving us a warning.
No,
Run!
is fine.
Run!
Okay, let me read that in just a second to make sure I'm reading all of it. So Jacos.
That's it. Who's got the secrets?
And
Just kidding.
Aelwyd, the two of you would notice it first. The opening of what appears to be a cave. The stone there is scratched. You see the divots in the earth and the stone as the full moon kind of glints off it as you draw nearer. The wind continues to howl past you. But as you continue to fly closer, you see some darkened spots. You guys are about 50, 60 feet up in the air right now. Drawing just slightly closer. Probably about 100 feet out. So out 100, up 50. You see that those dark spots are not shadows. They don't move and shift with your positioning as you are moving through the night sky. They are steady, not changing or moving. Jacos, you would be the first to see it. Large tracks coming from those dark puddles. The cart and everything that's on the map, that's not actually there. But you would see from a distance what looks to be some bones. Is that a oddly shaped rock or a skull?
Eowyn, from in front of the person, not really bothering to shout, but does just kind of like point in the direction that she sees it, knowing that this person also has probably already spotted it, but wanting to participate.
Yay. Jacos, do you say or do anything?
No.
Okay. You see Eowyn as you point down. A hand lets go of the reins and gives a thumbs up in front of you. And a deep voice, loudly, not deafening, but loud enough to be heard through the winds. Good eye. And he signals to Talric, who looks down gives a nod, and then throws more hand signals and points down as all of you begin your descent. Let me double check this player message. I almost forgot to read that. Doop-a-doop-a-doo. Go ahead and give me a sleight of hand, please. And this will be against his passive perception. Okay. I sent you a message, Rick. Yas. Okay. And then one more player message. Okay. All of your mounts land. That's a good question. When a player rolls on the tower, does it show you guys who rolled or what the roll was? Perfect.
No, it shows 2d6 rolling.
Perfect. Good to know. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay. Yas. The animals land, and the riders with you begin to dismount, and then look to you expectantly.
Let's see, what do I want to do first? I will say at the first sign of any danger, Awen will, cast her Shield of Faith onto herself.
Okay, so you're readying that. Okay,
But that's not until anything happens.
okay, go ahead and mark your spell slot, please. Is anybody else readying any actions?
Talric seems to be the leader of this, like, squadron, yeah?
Correct.
Okay. I guess I'd just approach him. What's the plan?
From here, we split up and investigate. There's a lot of land here, and that's not the map I want. Oh my god. Nope. We lost Jen. Okay.
Uh-oh.
Bye-bye.
Hopefully he'll come back. I don't know if he lost connection or what.
Rick will stay mounted,
Okay.
and he'll say to Talric, he'll say, I haven't slept or anything for 48 hours. I'm just gonna sit here and wait for commands, if that's all right with you, to conserve my energy.
Go ahead and roll persuasion.
Yeah, it looks like Jin got knocked out of
Yeah, he said he lost
Fantasy
power.
Grounds at the exact same time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Now is not the time for rest.
With guidance.
How about now?
How about now?
He looks to you and pauses for a moment. What sort of orders are you waiting for?
Any orders to fight. I'm here to help out where I can, but in order for me to have the best performance, I need to rest a bit. I'm not weak. I'm just hanging on.
Oh, of course. Not weak at all, I understand. By all means.
Eat these motherfuckers.
Those of you capable, spread out, scout the area. There's a lot of land to cover. He will look to you, Contagious, as you've approached him, correct?
Yeah, I would have approached him, so I would have heard that exchange.
Yeah. And he's not being
Um,
quiet about any of it. The winds are still howling at this point
Yeah.
because you're not flying. You don't have the flapping and then the extra momentum of being mounted. So you don't have to speak as loudly. You'll be able to hear each other better here.
After he says that and he's like starting whatever, I'll just kind of get up, not like in his face, but just like, you know, like a foot away from him, look at him and be like, listen, that guy just soloed a stone golem 2 days ago. Don't think any of your means anything to him.
I
Let's go.
don't give a fuck about 2 days ago.
I've already turned
Okay.
around and started gathering the group.
Awen will share what she spotted. I'm not quite sure what I was looking at, but from above I did notice these shapes. And I did kind of zone out while you were narrating. I remember gold and it was shapes. But she will recount everything that you said.
About which part? About the layout of the map?
About what she saw from above that she pointed at.
Okay. You saw what looked to be like dark spots, and at first like it looked like shadows, but as you like drew nearer, you saw it wasn't shadows. It was like dark stains on the earth. And then Jaco saw that there were tracks. And as you guys land and you guys should be able to move, you'll see that there are some bloody tracks. Those tracks are on the map. The tent and the busted wagon are not, but everything else is. And Talric, I'm not going to call him Talric anymore, he is Talric, would ask you guys, do you want to investigate the cave or remain out here and investigate the area out here?
Well,
We should learn what we can from out here before going anywhere near that cave.
I don't know much about beasts of this sort. Do they typically reside in caves? Would we have one way of knowing where to expect it?
Anywhere. they can make their lairs in caves. Some reside in trees, though as he kind of looks around, I don't think that will be the case here. And it's possible it is not resting. It could be watching, stalking this very moment. Yes, Godry.
And when
I was gonna say, what to call him? Godry will walk up to the side and reach like to take Rick off the hippogriff, and if he'll let him, he'll pull him off. And Godry will say, "I can, while as we scout, use my thermal vision to detect if it is prowling within the cave or on the top." And then I'll look to Talric. Can I assume what he said to what he said to Contagious was like heard amongst us?
Yeah. Yeah. It
I'll
was
look
very
to
much,
Talric and
that's a
say-
new problem, I don't fucking care.
I'll look to Contagious and say, while it was a feat, I do agree with Talric. It was 2 days ago. And then I look up at Talric and say, but do not remember mere hours ago, you were on your back as a bitch in heat. And then Godry will walk off and use his thermal vision.
When you go to reach for Rick, he's gonna politely kind of like smack your hand and say, I'm okay. Good. We can't
Oh,
hear
you're
you're
muted.
muted.
Fuck my butt.
Ooh.
I was wondering the same thing, but that was a banging line, so.
that up.
Literally, though. Like when a kid says something like that, like, you know, you never said around them, you're like,
But Godry will see Rick smack his hand away and he'll nod. Then I hope you find a perch to snipe from. And he'll go and try and do a check to see if he could see if it's at least watching them.
And let me double check the vision range. Yes, Jacos, it is. But we did have an inquisitive character who had asked about proving their worth, or the group's worth.
so now we get to steal their thunder pretty much. No one gets initiated because we did all the work. Womp womp.
And what time is it? What time of day is it? So
It's nighttime.
It's
Like
nighttime.
10,
yeah,
11,
it's like
right?
yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna say
Like
it's like 10:30
deep, deep
11
night?
o'clock. It's like 10:30 11
11:30?
o'clock. 10:30 11.
okay, cool.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are they nocturnal or are we just like doing this for shits and gigs?
You don't know.
I don't know. Do
Yeah.
any of us know anything about Manticores?
How,
You're right about that.
how far is it away from the cave opening?
From the cave. Hold on. What I'm gonna do?
Like how far is Rick away from the cave?
Yeah, I'm going to move this so I can measure. You are 80 feet away.
Okay.
So these two guys are going to begin scouting. That's 25. Let me 25 and 37. You guys can position yourselves where you would like to start your investigation.
Did Awen see Dracos move over there?
If you're watching, yeah, I would.
Did
say
you announce
so.
it? Okay, well, I think she would approach this as soon as she can get a good sight of like the blood and everything. She is looking to see first as she approaches the color. Is it a darker? Is it closer to brown? That would indicate it's older. Is it, you know, a brighter red? That would indicate fresher. And then as she gets closer, you know, can you tell, is it fresh? What is the blood coming from? Does it look like this was like the site of a kill that was then taken elsewhere?
Go
Um,
ahead and give me a survival check, please.
Her sister did all the hunting, but she knows plenty of it. Survival.
It's a little
I'm gonna
hard.
use-
Oh, go ahead. Gonna
I'm
inspect.
trying to decide if I want to use inspiration. It's not like a high stakes roll, but I want a window. Sure, why not?
Also, real quick, are the 5 hippogriffs and the vulture like in like sitting positions, like just kind of like no
No, they are standing. They are at attention.
standing?
So 13. Okay. It's hard to get a good gauge on it. The winds that have been blowing have kind of shifted the land and the dirt here a good bit. You know that it is not absolutely fresh. It's not like if you were to sit and put your fingers in it and bring it up to your head to see your head. It's not warm. It's not really moist. It's more tacky. Relatively dry. It doesn't appear to be a kill site. With a 13 and taking your backstory into consideration, it's safe to. You would have seen stuff like this a lot in the Ardite Forest, where like birds of prey or other predatory creatures. Specifically those who can fly, would catch their kill and then come home and land before either devouring it or taking it to its lair or home.
So if this isn't a kill site, then it's more likely the alternative, which is its lair. If this is what did it, but is that a reasonable conclusion that Awen makes?
It's reasonable.
I want to take just a second to talk to Rick before I join the rest of the group
Okay.
investigating. I'm just gonna come up to him and be like, yeah, feel free, stay back. Can I borrow your goggles if you're holding back so I can see a little better? If you feel you need them, keep them. It's fine. I just figured I'd ask.
Who's around us when he's saying this?
So right now,
It looks like
4
everyone else
of
are
the
gone off.
6 Feather Guild members have split off, going these directions. I can't brain right now. Talric has started to investigate the area up here, if it's going to let me ping. And then the other Feathergale Knight that's still with you guys that hasn't split off completely is right here, following up behind Awen.
So so he wouldn't be able to hear this interaction.
Not if you're whispering.
I need to see where they're at all times. Contagious. I have an idea.
Is... What is that?
I have my secrets just like you.
I feel like my secrets are what got us into this situation, so I just want to be sure that we're making smart choices here, as someone who has made a lot of not smart choices in the last...
You're one to talk!
As someone who has made a lot of not smart choices in the last 2 hours!
Let's just say I'm concocting a contingency plan.
I trust you. all I'll say is let's just try to focus on keeping everyone safe. Okay? I need you focused on if things go bad, keeping the group alive, helping us stay safe. So please just use your best judgment here.
I will.
As far as we are concerned, they are allies for right now.
Are you guys done?
I guess so.
I will say that Awen is making a point to stay along. Like, it looks like there's some kind of something here. She is not something that flies, not in the out in the open. She is staying along some kind of something. But she does share out loud what she's gathered, specifically towards Jagos and Gaudry, who are there, but not necessarily, like, making any efforts to make sure they're the only ones that know. She seems kind of in the similar spirit that, at least for now, they're allies, and she expected them all to be working together. She wasn't expecting it to, like, fall onto us, like, completely. But yeah.
And it's not. The Feathergale members are scatting. Oh, did I miss that part? Hold on, let me double check. Oh, you are right, I missed that. So yes, it would be normal. Thank you for that reminder. Sorry. Yes, but as the initiates and knights have kind of split off, they are scouting the area. They're not just like sitting around twiddling their thumbs or anything. You see, they have their weapons drawn and are on high alert, moving quietly. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and roll stealth for all of them.
I would say Awen would also be like being stealthy, and I know, like, mechanically she's got the spell cast, but she also does have the light bow, the light crossbow in her arm, and has that trained to the ground, and, you know, is doing her best to, like, you know,
Keep it together.
do this thing. Yeah.
Okay. Is everybody else trying to be stealthy and quiet as well?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to, with my disadvantage in sight and stealthiness, I am gonna try to be staying back, but close enough that I can keep an eye on some of the groups so I know where people are heading, because I am not able to see as much as everyone else right now.
Okay. Stealth checks from everybody else, please. Nailed it.
That look.
Do I use the last inspiration? No, I don't think I do.
Okay.
Oh no. It's gonna be like the bear.
Oh, don't say that. Don't put that into the universe.
Do you need a stealth check for me as well?
Not if you're not moving.
Okay, yeah, I'd
Alright,
move
so
up
we
to
have
just behind them, but that's as far as I'm going for right now.
10. Okay. I should roll for Jen. Jacob's one from you as well, please. And then perception checks as you guys
He's not trying to be stealthy.
are. Okay, just move it. I respect it.
He's exhausted. He's walking around. Mostly does not want to be here.
Fair.
Not throwing shit and causing a ruckus, but like not trying.
Fair enough. Okay. So, Godry, as you draw near to the mouth of the cave, on high alert, your infrared noted. Thank you. The area where the cave is at, there's some rigid, jagged ledges that kind of, it's almost like a small enclosure that opens up closer to where the river flows. The highest point is about 30 feet up, and then it goes down to about 15, and then up to 20. So it's kind of staggered a bit. But you see that the mouth of the cave almost yawns like a hungry mouth as your infrared sight kind of scans the mouth of the cave. You see that the edges are clawed and scored, almost as if something massive and vicious had like scraped its way in or out of it. You see that, and Jay goes with where you're at, and Awen, as you're kind of scanning the area where you see the gathering of blood, essentially, that there's dried smears of blood that kind of trace along the stones. Let me double check the rolls. A dirty 20 and then a 22. Okay. Something else that Awen that you would see, and Godry, you'd see a little bit of it as well. There are a few scraps of fur, like reddish gold, kind of bristly, kind of stuck on the rocks in the areas that the two of you are in.
Can I think of anything that's like, I mean, not that she would know the level fauna, but just like since they've been traveling through here, has she seen any type of animal that fur might belong to?
No.
Okay.
You have no.
Well, she will again do her thing and point it out.
Okay.
It looks as though something's
noted.
made a home there.
Player message.
So we just gonna throw a fireball in there and lure it out, right? Is that what's happening?
Okay. Godry, it's 6 inches of stone is the cutoff, correct?
Shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I have stone shit.
You did. I think you might have something with your shard. I'll have to double check that.
Yeah, no, I'm looking at it now. I do. I was like, oh, I forgot about that.
Luckily for you, Godry, 3 inches of stone?
Yeah.
Okay. Or am I supposed to read between the lines on that?
No,
No, it was
that was.
'cause Oh, this is so good. And as a heads up, I did get a message, so we do have the hard cut off. So we're gonna get this going and then immediately stop it. As you
Probably for the best.
draw nearer, scanning the mouth of the cave, just up at the top, you see there's like a little lip in the stone. And as your thermal vision starts to scan that, you see something large behind the rock. Crouched down, you see the heat of its breath brushing up against the back of the stone, kind of bouncing back in its face. Because I think this flavoring is kind of cool, you see orange coloration of blinking orbs set in a heavily furred, maned head.
If yeah, I'm gonna just straight up. If Gaji's able to react in this moment, like if nothing's gonna trigger, he'll look to who's probably closest. I have to move my character sheet out the way so I can see.
No, you're quite alright.
Everyone behind him. I think Gaji would probably turn around, and he'll have like these lights on his chest and his optic orb. He'll have them start flashing, and then he'll turn around at the cave and he'll fucking launch a javelin straight where he sees the heat signature.
Okay. Go ahead and you can target
Oh,
on
it's
the
the
map
event or token.
or the token or the combat tracker, and you will roll your attack, and then let me double check.
Combat tracker.
Yeah.
Ugly. Yeah. Oh, wait, no, that's target enemy. Where's the combat tracker thing?
So at the top right of the program, where you have the drop-down menus, if you hit the top one tool, the top left is the cross swords, and you can click that, and that'll bring up the combat tracker. This attack will be at disadvantage because it is behind the stone.
Got you. Okay. Okay. And what do I put myself in here? What do I do?
So you're already on there. If you hit control and then left click, is this your first time in combat on Fantasy Grounds? Oh my gosh, this is your first time in combat. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. You hit control, you hold that down, and then you left click what it is that you're trying to target. And then you will see under your name you have targets Feathergale Knight 28 and yourself. So you'll control and then left click yourself and Feathergale Knight 28, and that will untarget them.
Oh, okay, I see. So, got you.
Beautiful. Now on your character sheet, the bottom tab of actions, you'll go there. And you said you're going to throw a javelin at it?
Yeah.
Okay. So, you'll see that on the action tab you have the javelin, and to the left of that there's the sword, and then to the one underneath there's the one with the bomb. You are going to go to the one with the bomb, that's the thrown property, and to the right you'll see the little sword. You'll single click that and that will roll your attack.
Oh, okay. So, disadvantage clicked. There goes my javelin.
Yes. And I am making note of that. You will have to retrieve it and let me know you are retrieving it before you guys leave here. Because if you go for it later, and you haven't told me prior to leaving that I'm collecting my javelin, next time you go for it, no you don't.
Gotcha.
As you throw your javelin, it ricochets off the stone. All of you seeing these blinking, flashing lights coming from Godry as he starts to panic at the disco. Sorry, I couldn't resist. You hear this. It's going to be way more badass and ferocious than what you're actually going to hear right now. But a loud roar that begins to echo through this little outlet of as you watch this beast kind of like rise up, throwing itself back onto its hind legs. Let me share this picture, and then we're going to end the session, and we will start next session with rolling initiative. You see that this beast, why is there no picture, has the head of a lion. It's almost humanoid as well. He has large wings that spread out into a massive wingspan. You see the long, sharp claws on its front paws as it noted, as it kind of whinnies up. And as it comes back down, it's landed its front feet on the lip of the rocks that were there that were hiding it, and it's about a 2-foot lip. And as he's perched himself up, you see from behind him a large, spiny, spiked tail. That's where we're going to end the session. Next
This is
session
gonna be a fun one.
is gonna fuck.
Expect thing is ugly.
Yeah. it's
Fair
gonna
enough.
fuck. What?
I literally just texted Jen. I'm like, this bitch ugly.
I'm hoping he'll be able be able to be here. This is going to be a lot of fun. So for those of you that were watching the stream, thank you for hanging out and for your support. We will be back next weekend at 9:30 Eastern, and either clap some cheeks or get our cheeks clapped. Tune in to find out.
We didn't survive this just for